Shalom, warriors of Yahuah and the truth. I'm going to read a few more sections in Fossilized Customs tonight for tonight's lesson. Manifestation of Yahuah, Yahusha. They will look upon me, the one they have pierced, and they will mourn for him as one mourns for an only child, and grieve bitterly for him as one grieves for a firstborn son.
I'm sorry. Hang on, I'll take her.
I got her. Zechariah 12:10. The sun is the radiance of Elohim's esteem, and the exact representation of his being, sustaining all things by his powerful word. Hebrews 1:3. Many words can be written to counter the above, but they will never change their meaning. The secret is withheld, being veiled to those who cannot accept that the husband had to die to end the covenant. Romans 7:2. Hebrews 9:15-17. If Yahusha were not who he is, he could not possibly alter or amend any former covenant made by Yahuah. Even to this day, when Moshe or Moses is read, a veil covers their hearts. But whenever anyone turns to Yahuah, the veil is taken away. Now Yahuah is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of Yahuah is, there is freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:15-17. Who, being in very nature Elohim, did not consider equally with Elohim something to be grasped, but made himself nothing, taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man. He humbled himself and became obedient to death, even death on Hayetz, the tree. Philippians 2:6-8. Nas, pole or stake in Hebrew. He is the image of the invisible Elohim, the firstborn over all creation. Colossians 1:15. There is no creature able to take this attribute upon itself, certainly not Michael, one of the Malachim. The veil has been removed for some of us, but remember that the thief who died next to Yahusha didn't have to know a great deal, and our defining attribute must be love. Where there is contention and strife over what we believe, we don't exhibit love. There's a divide. If we who believe Yahusha is Yahuah are to be cast out as idolaters, then we were misled by many, many scriptures. He is wonderful, counselor, everlasting Father, mighty all, Sar Shalom, Al Alion, Al Shaddai, Yahuah Zedekanu, and maker of all things seen and unseen. He appeared to Abraham. He walked with Canuck. Adam spoke face to face with Moshe and wrestled with Jacob. And he died for me, his pitiful servant. He did this for each of us, and wants to save each of us who will accept him, by writing his Torah on our hearts. His resurrection is the central focus of all history. When death was swallowed up, and by faith in this, we all can have his life. He is the resurrection and the life. DAUD or DAUD is not in heaven. And it's phrased as a question. And that's the next title. Paul says to be absent from the body is to be present with Yahuah. After death, the very next thing you will know will be awakening and being with Yahusha. I may only differ with some on the passage of time, but we can easily see that Acts 2:34 clearly says, for David or David did not ascend into the heavens. And we also read that no one ascended into the heavens except the one who descended. So David is not yet with Yahusha, but sleeps in the grave, awaiting his resurrection. Daniel was told, many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth will wake up. 12:2. He was also told to go his way to the end and rest. and he would rise to his lot at the end of days. The thief who died next to Yahusha was told, I tell you today, you will be with me in paradise. See the comma? The thief is waiting his resurrection. Misinterpretations by translators cause ambiguity and conflicts. Wisdom is to be found where there are many counselors, and 2 or more witnesses are necessary to provide evidence of truth. Each of us, the congregation, participates in getting people converted to the truth. We are all involved in teaching, immersing, correcting, training, guiding, planting, and watering. You are slaves or servants of the one whom you obey. Romans 6:16. A foolish people has spurned your name. Psalm 74:18. Scattered tribes became the nations. Reading Ezekiel 36:17 through 38 and 37:1 through 28, especially 36:27, we discover the 2 houses of Yasharal. Yehuda, the southern kingdom, and Ephraim, or Yasharal, the northern kingdom. They will be united into one stick in Yahuwah's returning to the covenant, in Yahuwah's hand. Today we are witnessing the scattered tribes embedded in the Gentiles returning to the covenant with all their hearts in all the places where Yahuwah scattered them. Deuteronomy 31. This is a prelude to the return of Yahusha of Nazareth. When he reveals himself to his brothers, it will be a day of great mourning, as it is described in Zechariah 12. And one will be reminded of how it was when Yusuf revealed himself to his brothers in Egypt or Mitzrayim. After being sold into slavery, imprisoned innocently by Potiphar, and rising to the highest position in the kingdom. Not long ago, someone wrote to Lou from prison saying he was about to be released, but didn't think he could return to his wife and child because they were Christian. Since learning the truth, this individual was only interested in being with others like himself. Accepting those who are different. 1 Corinthians 9:19 through 23. Pilot text. In this whole area of his letter, Paul is on a tangent or a line of thought, which pertains generally to his right to be called an emissary. He was under great stress because other Nazarene were questioning him constantly. They didn't trust him completely. He seemed to be associating with people others turned their noses up at. Some thought he believed differently. He said he was under compulsion to spread the message of the reign of Yahuwah to all mankind, not for any recognition or reward. He explains why he speaks to anyone who will listen. He doesn't think of anyone as a lost cause, but all have the potential to win the race. He calls his journey a race, and he encounters all types of people along the way. Some are beginning. Others are farther along in knowledge. Even though Paul misunderstood many things more deeply than most Nazarene, like the meaning of the renewed covenant, the Torah written on our hearts and minds, he realized we needed other basic advice, like how to get along with each other, and others who were not yet on the same page. Divisions existed then just as they do now. Abrahim means father of nations. Many nations are the seed of the Abrahamic promise. And
you're not sick, by the way. You might want to let everyone know you're okay.
Yes, I explained in my comments that my asthma gets bad in the winter.
I always worry about that.
I know.
I like when people do that.
I know.
No one should be judging somebody because of a cough.
Yes, I know. We aren't to judge anyone.
Yeah,
that's Yahuwah's job.
Someone was judging my wife because she was coughing and she had asthma. I worry about it a lot. Sorry.
That's alright, baby. I was okay. It's okay, babe. And the Spirit of Yahusha within us has a goal which many of us push into the background. He wants to use us, the lost sheep of the tribes of Yasharal, the 10 lost tribes, with the message of the kingdom of Yahuah. How committed to this are we? Many place their highest goal on finding and meeting with others who believe like they do. Seeking others who use the same words, observe the same appointments, and a similar knowledge level make the kingdom of Yahuah more like an us versus them meeting. We can see the kingdom of Yahuah because we are of it. But all of us are sent to gather more to the wedding supper. We need more workers for the harvest and pray to the Master for them. In 1 Corinthians 9, Paul is telling us we must become like the people around us. That is, infiltrate them. A prisoner that wrote to Lou a few years ago was dedicated to the name, the appointed times, and so on. But he could not accept others who were different, even his own wife and child. Lou wrote to him about this. Even if it takes a lifetime, our place on this earth is to help those who need us the most. It is not our mission to isolate ourselves together only with others who already follow and understand. We are sent to help those being called out. A bag of seeds has to get out of the bag to be planted into the dirt, not stay together, bunched up with the other seeds, but planted. Yahusha plants the seeds through us, his vessels. We are ambassadors of the coming reign of Yahusha. Yahusha's work through us must reach out to adulterers, drug addicts, alcoholics, thieves, liars, regular people. We are sent to them. For this number of sinful people, Yahusha is calling forth children of Yahuah. I can relate to Paul because I have been sent to all kinds of people, or Lou has been sent to all kinds of people. He talks to observant Yahudim who don't know the Mashiach has come. Paul's former way of life is Yahudaism. Galatians 1:13, was the mixture of the traditions of the fathers, oral law. Paul has much to teach us all, but sadly few seem to understand him. That's why Peter warned us in his letter about misinterpreting Paul lawlessly. Most put forth their greatest efforts to meet with believers, but we should put forth as much effort to reach the lost. As seen today, the two-tiered system of pastor and flock is a remnant of centuries of human control, fleshly control. Often, only one or two are ever heard speaking in the assemblies. We must not remain stagnant, frozen pew sitters. Most of us must become teachers and become like our teacher. Many of us must become pastors, evangelists, teachers, healers, givers, etc. Equipping the Nazarene with proper instruction. Yahusha provides the spiritual gifts for the body and to the body. As his vessels, we offer ourselves to serve his body, our reasonable service. This body is Yahusha's bride, and many of them are waiting to hear from us. The givers should carefully read 2 Corinthians 8:3 and 4. For I testify that according to their ability and beyond their ability, they gave of their own accord, begging us with much entreaty for the favor of participating in the support of the saints. The idea continues in verse 14. At this present time, your abundance being a supply for their want, that their abundance one day also may become a supply for your want, and there may be equality. This support was for those saints in dire need. At our gatherings, we should let the Spirit of Yahusha speak to the group through whoever can give a teaching. You can plan a lecture topic, then the body of believers should all have the opportunity to speak. not just one or two, as Paul directed us. No, 1 Corinthians 14:26 states, when you assemble, each one has a psalm, has a teaching, has a revelation, has a tongue, has an interpretation. This does not sound like one man dominating the group. The Spirit of Yahusha uses each one to speak to the body. I found that the smaller the study group is, the better. Some things may come up that everyone needs to hear, but no one saw coming. The Spirit uses his body to speak to us, so we should not imitate the Nicolaitans by just having one person's voice, still everyone else's. It seems that, or quiet everyone else's. It seems that many Nazarenes focus on finding others to meet with, which is of course great. However, our main objective is to carry the message to the lost sheep. Our meetings should encourage us, and we should gain instruction in how to accomplish our real goal, teaching others and immersing them. Remember, this is for all of us to do, not just a leader. The students of Yahusha took 3.5 years to get the basics. He left us so that he could live in all of us, his Ruach HaKodesh, and we should listen to him and let him use us to reach those who would otherwise never hear the truth. We are sent to the lost, so let's not turn our backs on those who we were sent to. Let him use you to perfect and call out his bride. Take Paul's advice and become as an unbeliever in order to save some of them. As you get nearer to the finish line, you should be less critical to those you see just starting out across from you on the path, the narrow way. Be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. If you abide in my word, then you are truly disciples of mine, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Yehukanan 8:31 and 32. Jesuits have taught young people that Constantine wrote the scriptures, and this has caused a great barrier for any truth to get through. One has to wonder how Constantine managed to stash those old scrolls at Qumran, in the hills of the Dead Sea Scrolls, before he was born. That is a wonder, huh? It was probably not an easy trick to get them into synagogues all over the world either. You may live in the same house with someone who celebrates Halloween, Easter, and Christmas. No, we don't celebrate it. It's your endurance that is put to the test, not theirs. Leaving Babylon is a spiritual journey, not a physical one. Your eyes were opened. They were opened to the deception. So now you have to help open the eyes of others with kindness. The reign of Babel, or the beast, is richly spread into the world customs. Behind Nimrod is Shaitan, or Satan, and all his lying wonders are deceiving the whole world. Those who honor the Dalai Lama or the child of the sun are also trapped in worshiping Nimrod. Nimrod is represented in many ways: eagle, gold balls, obelisks, steeples, cruxes, the Christmas tree, Santa, the eye on the pyramid, and together with his mother Semiramis, the whole world is caught up in witchcraft. Okay. I hope everyone has a blessed evening. Yahuah bless you all, warriors of Yahuah and the truth. My little Bella Beanie's sleeping, and tomorrow I can do another video, and I will be doing it on carrying money on the Shabbat, which I was gonna do it at the end of this video, but my cough is coming back. Tithing to support elders.
Oh, you can turn this. Look, we can turn the light.
Shabbat's distance. Oh, that's cool. Shabbat's distance is going to be in the next video. And is Yahuah only a prophet? I don't believe so, but to be continued. Bless you all. I love you. My mishpacha.